Hi, I'm Josie Miller. Yeah. Okay. The way I see it, a person's life is a book, with each year is a chapter. I have been lucky enough to have spent a total of 8 chapters of my life at Casa Montessori School, where I have met both children and adults who I am sure I will know for the rest of my life. One of the things I have learned in my time here is to always summarize a story, never retell it. So, to make sure that my last piece of written work at Casa does not break this rule, I shall carefully summarize my experience at this wonderful house of education, which has become a third home to me. I believe that the first thing I thought when I walked into Miss Rhonda's room was, are those crackers free for the taking? That, and I wish we could have homework in this classroom. I'm really glad that wish didn't come true. From the moment I met her, I adored Miss Rhonda. She made every task or chore that we were assigned sound like it was going to be the most enjoyable thing we were ever going to get to do in our natural lives. And when she was by our sides, it was. I can still remember the I am a genius feeling that came from properly stacking pink wooden blocks, which differentiated in size and the shape of a somewhat disproportionate pyramid. I frequently wish I could just travel back in time so I could get such joy from doing something so simple. I suppose that's the best part of childhood, that nothing has to be particularly large or attention-drawing to make you feel like you are, at that moment, worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize. It seems as people get older, their self-set standards get higher and higher. In a way, young children are much wiser than teenagers and adults. All good things must come to an end. I have never very much liked that phrase, for almost all the time, when one good thing does end, another follows. Like when 6 years ago I graduated from Miss Rhonda's class, and the good thing of being a primary student came to an end, I got to continue at Casa and become a lower elementary student. Well, as soon as I entered Miss Cynthia's class, my thirst for homework was quenched. The thrill of that lasted about 3 hours. Luckily, that letdown was compensated by the excellent teachers and fascinating lessons that my new class had to offer. It was there that I discovered junior grade books, or JGB, which to this day is my favorite thing to work on. When I started first grade, I was not what one would call adventurous. In fact, I was so stuck in my ways that for the first 6 months of the year, during silent reading, I just read the same book over and over again. I am still aghast that I managed to probably about 20 times review the pages of a book whose entire plot line revolved around a dim-witted duck who continuously ran away from an evil ferry operator for fear of being whacked with a large stick. I think the point of this duck story was to teach children that sometimes we exaggerate the possible negative outcomes of scenarios, for it ended with the poor, gullible, feathered animal getting hit like a golf ball by the man he was running from and not really caring. Well, eventually I managed to put the duck book back on the shelf and read something with a little more depth. After I realized I was being just as ridiculous as the duck every time I refused to try something new, I decided to start opening up to new ideas. I practiced this entire island where Chloe and I adventurously tried a cafeteria's taco salad, and 20 minutes later, adventurously ran to the bathroom. This was my first true bonding moment with the girl who is now the best friend I could possibly ask for. In the upper elementary, I met amazing people and learned an impressive amount of life skills. I absorbed massive amounts of knowledge thanks to my teachers, and also managed to have a good deal of fun while doing so. When writing this speech, I simply could not manage to pull together more than a few words to describe my life in the upper L. It seems almost as though I need more time to spend with my friends before I can bid the school farewell. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that I'm not ready to say goodbye to Miss Margaret's class and all of the people in it. So I won't. I will simply thank those who have made my life particularly special and tell them that I will see them sometime in the future. So here it goes. First, I must thank Miss Rhonda, Miss Beth, Miss Cynthia, and Miss Christine for showing me through my youngest years and getting me interested in learning. Next, I must acknowledge Miss Teresa, Miss Melanie, Miss Sandy, Miss Marcia, Miss Katie, Miss Barb, and Miss Christie for putting up with our incessant noise and teaching us outside the classroom. I would also like to thank my parents and grandparents who have diligently driven to and from school and paid my tuition to make attending here possible. And Miss Margaret, Miss Lynn, Mr. Hadley, and Miss Elaine, who I have not the ability to express my gratitude to without breaking down into a sobbing hysterical heap. And finally, Last but by no means least, I am entirely obligated to say to Chloe Romele, who can say if I've been changed for the better, but because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Thank you.